Every now and then, you may come across an item that is marked up 10, maybe even 15 times over MSRP. Take this 2080 Ti, for example, sold by Bleep Box, that's apparently a UK company, and listed on Newegg, a reputable e-retailer. There are plenty of decent TIs at competitive prices here, but this particular listing has a list price of $14,000. No realistic person should ever pay this much for a card that isn't architecturally different than others in the $1,000 range. So what's up? I mean, why does this happen and what does it mean? The answers aren't what you'd expect. Let's explain.
If you're sick of seeing that same Activate Windows watermark over and over, snag an OEM license from SCD Key. You'll have a fully activated OS in seconds and you can kiss that watermark goodbye. And be sure to use menu offer code GSL for that sweet discount.
So we've uploaded several critical reviews of PC ads from individuals and businesses in the past, but I want to quickly distinguish between those and these. The former involves sellers who either A, have no idea what their parts are actually worth and are just fishing, so to speak, or B, intentionally trying to extort and or scam prospective buyers. But I'd wager that this isn't that. This can be done for several reasons, some of which may overlap with ones aforementioned, but most of the time have an entirely different purpose. This is retail we're talking about. So when I want to list something on a site like Newegg or Amazon, I need two things. I need inventory and I need the ability to ship, unless you have Amazon do the shipping side of things, but you still need to ship those products to Amazon warehouses in order for them to fulfill the shipping obligations. And assuming you've worked out the logistics on your end, maintaining a steady inventory level to meet demand becomes the real challenge. Sitting on huge influxes of inventory can be extremely dangerous for any business, but especially those focused on tech, since things in the tech space tend to depreciate rather quickly and become obsolete overnight, i.e. nobody wants them anymore, which means they're practically worth zero. In fact, this is such a daunting scenario for certain vendors that they'd rather have too little inventory than too much of it. And that's why, at times at least, you'll see out of stock labels next to your favorite PC tech products. You learning something already, Nate? Yep. There you go, see? It isn't common, but things are purposefully set up this way as a fail-safe. They might look at it as a safer bet. But in some cases, rather than listing a not in stock option, a seller may list an exorbitant price, say $14,000 for the product in question under the assumption that no one will buy it. And this is done for a few reasons. Most importantly, it keeps the product listed on the e-retailer's page and allows important API data to continue pushing through. It's super vital for repricing models that keep listings competitive in the marketplace, because you can't always go in every day and update your SKU's pricing, especially if prices elsewhere change. You want to compete with them, you have models change those prices for you. They're not always perfect. Another reason you'll see a price like this, especially if the item is out of stock, is in the off chance someone does actually buy the product. You can drop ship the item sourced from somewhere else at a much lower price and then pocket the difference. This can be especially useful if you're the only person selling said item, although in the tech space, I'd say this is pretty rare. And if you're the only person selling the item, then you can't drop ship the item somewhere else. So maybe you're just raising the price because you can, because you don't have any other competition. I'd also wager that a majority of the retailers listing products for these prices, say $14,000 again, aren't actually expecting to legitimately sell anything. Now, another more grimacing reason for a price like this could be in the case of money laundering, Nate. Now Nate's sweating. Nate's wondering why I called him out for that. And I know that sounds super far-fetched on the surface, but it actually happens more than you think. If you're obtaining money from some illegal activity, Nate, or looking to import it in a way that seems organic, you'd set up SKUs like this and essentially purchase these products yourself, right? That money then becomes legitimate income where it can be taxed and washed clean of any previous sin. There are many ways to launder money, but this is actually a pretty common one in the tech space, and tech tends to be fairly expensive, so it's easy to make this seem organic and legitimate. And just to be clear, that is not what I'm insinuating that this company, for example, is doing. Like I said earlier, it's likely they're genuinely out of stock, as Newegg suggests. It's just something that does happen from time to time. And then there are the careless or legit mistakes, ones that aren't done purposefully. Maybe add another 0 or a 9 where you're not supposed to. Maybe the pricer is pulling an incorrect product SKU. Maybe the wrong UPC is being used, which is kind of the same thing. Basically, it's a code for pulling information on a certain item. So if you're pulling information from an item that's actually worth a lot more than the item you're trying to sell, that might explain why the price is so high. There are a number of reasons mistakes like this pop up on e-retailers, and that's just it. They may very well be legitimate mistakes, unintentional hiccups, and that's another reason why I've never really featured products like this in our scams and ripoffs playlist. If the price markups are this blatantly obvious and humongous, frankly, it's either an error, an illegal scheme, a scam, or intentional for the sake of saving time and maintaining a steady flow of data from the page. And I can't prove either way, which means I have no basis for a critical video. So I hope that this video has cleared up any confusion you might have regarding ridiculous prices like these. They may all seem ominous on the surface, I get that, but there's usually something else going on behind the scenes that explains why one or two or random products are marked up 10, 15, or even 20 times. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and leave feedback down below. I would appreciate that. My name is Greg. Thanks for, wow. Should I just keep going? No, Nate wants me to redo this. Okay, I'll be right back. Leave feedback down below and I'll catch you in the next one. My name's Greg. Thanks for learning with me. Got it that time, right?